I am very happy to be doing this video today for you. Not only because I'm very happy to do videos for you pretty much any day, but because of what is in the video and in my hands. My favourite film of all time is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's a film I first saw when it came out. So I saw it in the UK, I think 1978 when it was released. And I've seen it so many times over the years in its various versions, its special editions, its director's cuts, its theatrical versions, and so on and so on. Pan and scan, widescreen, etc., etc., etc. I was passing by a shop that we have here in the UK called CEX, and I saw in the shop this second-hand copy of the 30th anniversary Ultimate Edition Close Encounters of the Third Kind Blu-ray, which is from 2007, 2008, I guess. My maths isn't working too well today. Yes, maybe I should have written that down. I own this film in several different versions. I don't mean within this specific box, but I own the 4K Blu-ray, which looks amazing, which is the 40th anniversary edition. But this was £6. Actually, it was £5. £5 in CEX for this Ultimate Edition. So I sort of had a look at it. It's a 2-disc set. This is a Region B disc. So it is a UK one. I'm hoping it's available elsewhere. And so I looked and I'm like, there's a book in there. There's a couple of discs. Let me have a look. Films versions are probably the same as the ones I have on the 4K set, which does have all 3 versions. But it looks kind of cool, and it is my favourite film of all time, and it's an edition I do not have. So I put down my CEX voucher, which I had, and I bought that, and I also bought an Apocalypse Now Final Cut Blu-ray. But that's not all singing or dancing, so I'm probably not going to do a video of that one. Close Encounters of the Third Kind Ultimate Edition, what do you get? Well, this is a cardboard outer shell. Pretty good condition considering... it's like, what, 15 years old or something. It's clocking on. What do we get? So we shake it all out here. Now, I instantly recognized this artwork. So I suspect that I had the DVD version of this set way back when. But then I got the 4K version. I'm not quite sure what happened to the DVD version. I'm hoping I've still got it somewhere. I have a lot of tubs behind me filled with DVDs. I would love to think that the Close Encounters set is in there, but I don't know. But this does look familiar, the artwork. Obviously the shot itself is very familiar because it's the iconic one of many from the movie. But the DVD set I had did have this on the cover, so I suspect it was from the same time. Now what we get in here is a book, a scrapbook. Just seeing how many pages, in fact it is. It doesn't tell me how many pages, but let's have a look through this book. I'll give you a bit of an overview as to what it is. Can't believe how good condition this is for a second-hand CEX booklet. Now, for fans of Close Encounters, which does include me, there isn't much that we don't know about the film. So whether we're going to learn anything really new from this book, who knows? But in this, for example, he does talk about the director's cut in there. I'm always fascinated by the differences in movies, what makes people do director's cuts, what makes them put this scene in, take that scene out. And Close Encounters over the years, there isn't really an all singing, all dancing proper version that has absolutely everything in it, like Apocalypse Now redo. But the director's cut is probably the best version, I think. But I do love the theatrical version. I'm pretty sure that even in the director's cut, there are scenes that are missing that are only in the theatrical cut. So I really wish there was a supercut, a legitimate supercut, that I could just pop in and go, I watched everything, watch it all in one version, rather than doing what I have to do with films like Blade Runner, which is go back and watch them multiple times. But this is a really good scrapbook, which is effectively what it's called. I've had a look for the descriptions. The late Terry Garr there. So we get lots of behind the scenes photos. There's a whole wealth of Close Encounters stuff that you can get. I have books, and not just official Close Encounters books. but I do have this wonderful book, which I highly recommend, Spielberg, True for Me, written by Bob Balaban, and it is the diary of what Bob's experience was like on Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So if you've not got this book, I would highly recommend picking that up. But this video is not about that book. This video is about this Blu-ray set. So we get this wonderful scrapbook. Cover art is really good. Now we are going to investigate itself, the discs and the contents of the discs. So it is a cardboard gatefold out there. There's a sheet of paper, which I'm guessing was probably on the back, which details everything. Doesn't look like it's able to stick on it, so it is in fact popped in here. Now I opened this up, and I wasn't immensely surprised by the discs, because I was, you know, like I say, I own the film anyway, and I kind of knew what would be on it. So this, I'm like, oh, there's the 2 discs. Behind that, we get the scenes, UFOs, and Devil's Tower. I will go through what's on these discs in a second. If you do own the 4K disc, so the 40th anniversary edition, there isn't really anything contained in these discs that you don't have on the newer edition of Close Encounters. So don't get too excited. There are no real features on here that you're like, oh, that's only on this edition. It's missing. 4K is probably the best set to go for if you don't own Close Encounters. But why am I so excited about this set? Well, one, it's an edition I didn't previously own. But 2, because the poster is still intact. Now, usually when you buy something second hand, the poster or any of the extras are usually missing. Not in this case. So I'm going to pan the camera out a little bit there. So we've got a full-size poster. It's probably, I mean, is that A3, do you think? More or less, but this is definitely going in a frame once I've finished doing this video. I'm going to find a nice frame. I'm going to stick this poster on my wall. Love it. I don't, for some reason, I've never owned the Close Encounters poster, but now I do, so I'm very happy. Hopefully, I've got a frame big enough for it to fit in. Now, on the back of this poster, the eagle-eyed people will have noticed that when I took this out, there is this. A view from above. Feature comparison. Now in this, it goes through the differences between the original theatrical version, let me focus in there, the special edition, and the director's cut. So it does give you a little bit of blurb. For example, if we look at that, so, you know, Lacombe Seminar has been restored to its length in the original version. So it does tell you what has been cut. And the running times, it's got little timestamps there. So it's a pretty good looking thing. It's handy. There is also this type of feature on the disc itself, but I'll go into that when I go through the disc content. But this will not get seen by many people who enter my house, because this will be in a frame. So I'm going to move this poster out of the way for now. Let's just put that. I will put the tripod back down. I'm shooting this on a mini tripod, so you can see like the little leg here now and again. I have a certain amount of desk space, so do forgive me. So disc 1. So if you have a look there. Now disc 1 contains all 3 versions, so it is a branching technology. It's the theatrical version from '77, the special edition from 1980, and from 1998, the director's cut. I tend to alternate between which version I watch. Sometimes I like to see the special edition. Sometimes I want to go back to 1977 or 78 when I first saw it. And sometimes I like to watch the super polished director's cut. Also on this is the view from above feature that I just mentioned. Now that, if you switch that mode on, it's a bit like the Follow the White Rabbit thing that was on the Matrix. So you switch it on and it branches you out to stuff. This will put up little icons on the screen that will say, for example, this was only in the original version. This is a scene from the special edition. This is something that was put in for the director's cut or removed. It'll give you differences, so you know that which thing on screen you're watching is from which specific version. And that is all that you do get on disc 1. I say that's all. You've got 3 versions of the movie, which it's not a short movie, so well over 2 hours. And obviously that view from above movie graphics thing. So we shift over to disc 2, where all the special features are housed. Now, I am not going to go down every single thing that is in this because, and I will explain why, it's like deleted scenes. There's like 10 of those. So do I really need to list them all? I may put them on the screen for you just to save me reading them all out. But if I read everything out that is on this disc, list by list, then this video will probably be about 25, 30, 40 minutes long. And so what I will do is just tell you that there are around 18 minutes, just over 18 minutes of deleted scenes on this disc. There are the making ofs. There's, let me just check on that. There is a 30 years of Close Encounters featurette, which is just over 20 minutes. It's 21 minutes, 20 odd seconds long. That is on there. The Making of Close Encounters, which is a feature-length documentary, which is really good. I've seen that probably more times than any making of, other than Dangerous Days, the Blade Runner one. The Making of Close Encounters is 101 minutes. So it is, you know, it's feature-length. It's really good. And that's where I learned most of the backstory about the things that went into the making of this. It shows test footages from the original aliens they wanted to use, and an absolute wealth of information. And that's 101 minutes. There is a Watch the Skies featurette, which is only about 6 minutes long. So I would probably recommend that you watch that before you watch the 101 minute one, because if you watch the 101 minute one first, then you watch the 5 minutes or nearly 6 minute one, you're like, me, feature length one's better. And then you get a whole wealth of photo galleries, trailers. There is storyboards. You know, the photos. There's like a huge amount of photo galleries and stuff on that. But the main sort of meat and potatoes, as they say, or they might not say, is the feature length 101 minute making of Close Encounters. The only thing that is on the 4K disc, other than a 4K restoration, of course, there is I think it's like 5 minutes long, where it's Steven Spielberg's home video and outtakes. Now that is not on this edition. That's obviously been unearthed in the 10 years between this edition and the 4K one. So you're probably talking 6 minutes difference, other than obviously the 4K restoration of one of the best films of all time. So I would highly recommend, if you do see this set, pretty cheap, or you're just a collector of Close Encounters of the Third Kind stuff, then do I have this. Like, I have a mug somewhere. I think it's downstairs. This doesn't come with this set, by the way, but it just kind of looks cool. Then do check out this 30th anniversary Ultimate Edition of my favourite film ever. Hope you enjoyed the little overview, and I will see you in the next video.